welcome back to Study on Spotlight. And today we have the Associate Director of International Student Recruitment from the St. John's Kilmarnock School from Canada. So
Hello.
welcome, Fola.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome.
Nice to be here.
Well, would you like to introduce yourself and a little bit about the school?
Okay, my name's Fola, and I'm the Associate Director of International Recruitment at SJK. SJK also stands for St. John's Kilmarnock School. We are located in Waterloo, which is about an hour and 20 minutes to Toronto Airport. We have about 550 students currently on campus. The majority of those students are actually Canadian students. We do have a few international day students, but about 25 are international. And the majority of them come from mainland China and Hong Kong and various countries like in the Caribbean and Europe as well. What I would say is the unique thing about our school is that when students leave with us, they graduate with 2 diplomas.
Right. This is a
The
bit
IB.
special.
Pardon?
This is a bit special within like the Canadian school. That
I don't think. I don't think a lot of schools have kids graduate with 2 diplomas. There are a good number, but not a handful. But we're the only full continuum IB school in the south western part of Ontario, offering the IB diploma. And like I said before, when students leave, they leave with 2 diplomas, IB and Ossd+Ib.
right.
Now-
Ontario Secondary
Diploma, yeah. Now, they don't actually study anything to do with Ossd+Ib, but we're just able to grant them the credit equivalencies.
Right. So they still do the subjects, but it's not like a double time of amount in the timetable. So,
No, everything will just be completely IB, but based on the subjects that they study at IB level, we'll be able to do the credit equivalencies for Ossd+Ib.
right.
If that makes sense. But we don't have we don't follow 2 curriculums, it's just IB, but we are just able to grant them Ossd+Ib.
Right.
Yeah.
So why would a school decide you're having this very vigorous academic program?
Well, good question. So we weren't always an IB school. I think one of the things that we realized is that, the IB is I shouldn't say this, but it's a very rigorous and challenging kind of curriculum.
Yep.
And it preps you exceptionally well for university. So that was the main reason. We weren't an IB school before. I think up until a few years ago, that's when we actually became an IB school. But I think it was just more because it's recognized worldwide, and the fact that it challenges your mind, your thoughts, inquiry based, and that preparation for university is kind of in the IB curriculum. If that makes sense.
Yeah. So actually, there's some parents and students also consider IB like this curriculum, and knowing it's very challenging, as you said. So I know IB is not only about studying the books, right? It's about like worldwide citizenship. And so, how the school have the facility and all the support and programs to support students to develop kind of skills?
With the IB, because it's very inquiry-based, research-based, so I think one of the things we like to do is, there are lots of educational trips within Canada and outside Canada, where students are able to explore, do lots of research. We also have, lots of special guest speakers and, staff from, different places in Canada who actually come guest lecture the will provide lectures or give lectures to students as well. But there are some students who do find it challenging, and I think this is where the school shines, because we're able to provide that extra support and extra care and attention to the students.
So you mentioned about trips. So what kind of trips that you do?
Oh gosh, the majority.
I'm pretty sure students are really excited to hear about trips.
Yes, you get to fly all over the world. So it depends, I guess, on the subject, the time of the year. So there are 2 kind of main trips. One are educational. So it could be a geography trip, a history trip. And the other, we have a program called the 5 Worlds program. Now, the 5 Worlds program is also an educational trip, but there are 4 or 5 destinations that students can pick from or choose from each year. And they go to places like France, Italy, Spain, Nepal. Again, that's just so that students become culturally aware of what happens, on how people live in various countries. They're chaperoned with 4 or 5 staff members. Sometimes parents also go on those trips.
Okay.
But then the whole idea is to allow them to become culturally aware, sensitive, and also just understand, the various ways of living. And of course, there'll be some, work done whilst on the trip. Maybe they're volunteering, they're visiting charities, hospitals, and they're also getting their hands dirty as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess the best way to experience, not really having that personal experience.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah. It really helps. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not only like studying on books and like watching videos. It's
No,
completely
yeah,
different experience.
Yeah,
in
for
like
sure.
that.
Yes.
So that's really great. And as well as the school is a boarding school and having all those international student community, allowing students to really understand and respect each other's cultures and background. That's really helps. So can you talk about a bit more the boarding house, how that works?
Fantastic, yeah. So I think it's also very important to mention that. So the school's on 40 acres of land. We're in a rural area, countryside. It's safe. However, our boarding residence is not on campus. It's about a 20-minute bus ride from the main campus. It's in collaboration with the University of Waterloo. So we have a good relationship with the University of Waterloo. The boarding residence can accommodate up to 50 international students. Single rooms. They don't share their bedrooms. They have they share bathrooms, but not the bedrooms. So
so they have own personal space.
Yeah. So they have in the rooms, what you find is a bed, a desk, a chair, a sink, and a wardrobe. We don't mix male and female students. Male students are on a specific wing, and the females are also on a specific wing. At the end of each wing, you find 4 or 5 showers, cubicles, and also toilets. We have 5 live-in staff who live with the students. They're on rotation, on call 24/7. So the care, the attention is there. We also have a nurse as well who is present. What you would also find is a gym, a laundry room. Our students never use the laundry room because their fees also include laundry service, so they're spoilt. The laundry service.
Will someone do the laundry for them?
Yeah, we have a. It's typically outsourced twice a week. So somebody comes, a service provider comes twice a week to pick up and drop off, and they do it for them. The iron, pressing, drying, whatever, all that's taken care of. So what you'd also find is a study room, a library, a dining room where they have breakfast, lunch, and dinner on weekends or during weekends. And then in the mornings, weekdays, they have breakfast and then dinner as well. Lunch is typically, and snacks are typically at school on Friday. Games room, I think I mentioned a movie theater and the study.
Well, like in a boarding house, no way. It doesn't sound like a boarding house. It's more like a 5-star hotel.
Wow! Come and see. But I think it's nice to have that balance of you being in an education or in an academic environment, but also a home away from home. I think that helps with students to be able to relax and be comfortable, and for them to just shine and do well. Because I think if it's all academic, they just won't.
Yeah, it's a bit stressy in a way.
And you don't want that. You want them to be comfortable. If they're comfortable, they'll do well. They'll be relaxed. They'll be more focused. So we're not also I won't say we're your traditional boarding school, because we do allow our students to also leave residence like during the week.
Like overnight? You mean
they can't leave overnight during the week, but they can leave overnight weekends.
Right.
They have to sign out, and that's at the discretion of the director of boarding. But if they do leave like during the week, or even for the day on a weekend, they share their location, so we know where they are. Again, for safety reasons, we are very big on safety at SJK. But then most of them don't leave weekends because there are always things going on. There are always activities going on every other weekend, and we like for the students to all interact together and be active. Some events are also in conjunction with our day students who also sometimes come to the residence, spend time with them. Last week they went to Niagara Falls. No, the week before they went to Niagara Falls. They went camping last weekend. So there's a lot to do. They're very busy.
But that's a good, like, because I know some parents, the parents of family were concerned about the boarding house not being on site.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, I kind of like understand because I went to a boarding school, that very traditional one on site. It kind of, the very traditional way kind of doesn't have the off school, off work feeling. So you're constantly 24/7 in
you're thinking work environment. I must study.
in a school ground, and you're surrounded by all the buildings and all these academic issues going on, and like maybe people were going into libraries and all those, like, it's kind of just don't have the go home mindset.
You can't kind of like
just get away from school. I kind of like being trapped in a school.
In the school. You can't really separate the academic and the home side. I mean, it is what it is. Some families love that. Some kids love it. But it's just that we just don't have residents on campus. It's off-site and it works well for some families. They love it.
And
some
having
don't.
kind of a little bit freedom in a way.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like good to consider. I know families and students sometimes consider, well, is it not safe? Like, because it's outside school. But because of, you have said there's 5 members of staff that are on duty like 24/7. And the nurse and all these kind of facilities, having a movie theater and a gym and everything. So I think it's more depends on what kind of like study experience you're looking for. And what kind of, you need to consider that.
I think we focus more on being independent and we trust you. And again, because you're so close to because you're so close to university at high school, we're giving that kind of taste or freedom from now.
How close is it? It was cross the road, literally.
When I say university, I mean in general. But the University of Waterloo, where it's about a 10-15 minute maybe like bus ride. But then they have, the University of Waterloo, has different kind of, they have like libraries and sports grounds in various areas, which are also walking distance to us. But the main campus, I'd say, is like a 15-minute bus ride. And some of our students do also use their facilities, the libraries, the gym as well. They have access to it.
With the University of Waterloo.
They have access to it.
That's really great. So I know, so we just talk about the boarding. What about activities? Why you just mentioned the boarders get a chance to do like over the weekends, all these like trips, like with day students as well. But what about like in general, for like sports and arts and all this kind of?
Fantastic. So we have about over 45 extracurricular activities at the school, and they range from Model UN, chess club, singing club, dance club, STEM. There's a specific one that we introduced, Women in STEM. Anybody can join. It's just Women in STEM because we had an increase of female students that are interested in STEM. So we thought it would be nice to have a Women in STEM program. We have, did I mention math club, chess club, dance club, choir club, singing club, photography club, media club. So there are a range of clubs there that students can experience. What we also always say is if there's a club that a child doesn't see that's listed, you can always start your own club. Given that there are a few more students that are interested, you can create that club. So we don't like students thinking, okay, this is the list, that you have to like choose one. If there aren't any that you subscribe to or you would like to subscribe to, you're more than welcome to create your own. When it comes to sports, we have about 4 or 5 main varsity sports.
Right.
Now, the varsity sports are sports programs, or it's a sports program, and within that program, the actual sports are sports that are compete. I can't even speak anymore.
You mean like play professionally?
They play. Well, not, I won't say professionally, but they play competitively, locally, as well as nationally, and sometimes internationally. Right. And what you were part of CAIS, Canadian Accredited Independent Schools, which basically then means that some of our kids also compete with these other key schools as well. So basketball, soccer, field hockey, ice hockey, and track and field. Those are our varsity sports.
Right. So if students are interested in one of these sports, do they have to do like an audition?
Yeah, with their tryouts in early September.
Right.
And we will just see how well they do. the main ones are soccer and basketball.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Those get very, very very, very packed. But the school does very well. We have, I mean, if you come to the school, in the gym, you see all our trophies and all the competitions that we've actually won throughout the year. So we are very good when it comes to soccer and basketball.
Right.
Yeah.
And it actually helps students when they apply for university.
Yeah, it does, because then they look at how they contribute to the community, and this is one way that they contribute to the community as well.
Yeah, and also, obviously there will be scholarship opportunity to apply also
to SJK or to
university.
So with the universities, we have a guidance counselor. Amazing. He's actually a graduate of Harvard. So from about grade 10, grade 9, our students start meeting the guidance counselor like once a week or twice a week. It becomes more when they're in like grade 11 because they're closer to university. So we speak about university choices, course options, and sometimes universities also come to our school. We visit their campuses too. But when it comes to scholarships, yes, some universities in Canada will give you an automatic, well, no, not automatic, an entrance scholarship. And that amount varies. But then, yes, there are opportunities for scholarships, yes.
Okay. Well, that's really a lot of opportunities going on as well. So apart from the sport, any music like opportunities or classes that are available students? Because like I know like Hong Kong students, they quite often like play instruments and then want to carry on like when they study overseas.
So we have band class. So students can take part in being part of the choir or singing club. We have 2 amazing teachers who actually focus on our music classes. If a child has or plays an instrument, they can continue playing that on campus. They can bring their own instrument, or they can actually hire one at school. Trumpets, the recorders. They can't go away with a piano, but we have pianos that are there. We have recording studios too, booths. So that there are all sorts, drums that we have, so students can actually take part and be part, of that. Our band group, they're very good. When they perform during assemblies and special occasions, they are very, very good. Yeah,
that's great.
So that option is also there, for our students. Yeah.
Right. I guess because when students going overseas, they want to explore many opportunities as well, not just stick to their comfort zone and the things that they're familiar with.
Yeah.
So having that opportunity to try out everything is a really good chance.
It's a good chance, for them to explore and just figure out what they like and what they don't like as well.
Yeah. Like the whole idea of education is about
exploring.
Exploring, right?
Yeah,
so that's really what. Really, the Canadian education as well as SJK providing IBs and all the kind of activities that are available students to really explore who they are and what they really love. Because when you do a thing, you really have to have a passion to carry yourself.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
right?
Hands down.
Yeah. So apart from we just talk about the school, so any advice to share with students who want to go to study in Canada?
What I would say is I will link this to our school. Because we're an IB school, I would say anyone that wants to apply to SJK, I would say just make sure that you're fluent in English, speaking, reading, writing, because when you do come to the school, you are going to be enrolled in an IB program, and to be able to do well, study, attend classes in your tests, I would say be fluent in English. I'm heavily involved with the recruitment of obviously international students. So what I look for is typically an all-round student, not just academic. Someone that gets involved with their community. So if you play an instrument, if you play soccer outside school or within school, if you're a prefect, having good grades is amazing. But I look at all sorts of things. It's a complete package. It's not just about academics. It's also about if I see potential in your growth, you being at the school, then yes, I would say yes, apply. So English and how you can adapt and contribute to the SJK community. I would say those are the things that I would want or would like a student to focus on. Yeah, if they're going to come to our school. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's very challenging.
Well, yeah, I don't like using the word challenging, but let's just say, I don't know. I always say it, but so let me say, what can I say? The IB is just rigorous.
Okay.
It's rigorous, and it takes a lot of your time because you're spending a lot of time researching, reading, studying, writing essays. So let me not say challenging, but a lot of work and effort has to be put into it. Yeah.
It's a process, because of, especially with time managing.
Yes, as well.
Handling all the stuff going on in school life. So, well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
So much.
Can I just quickly add before we end?
Yeah, sure.
So there are scholarships available at SJK. Now, these are merit-based scholarships, and we only accept students from, boarding students from grade 9, 10, and 11. We don't accept students for grade 12.
Because of the IB structure.
Fantastic. So anyone that is looking or that's interested in SJK, please note that, there are scholarships available, up to 32,000 Canadian dollars. Now, the scholarships are recurring. So, for example, if you apply to grade 9 and we give you a scholarship of $20,000 or something, you would get $20,000 off tuition, your fees rather, grade 9, grade 10, grade 11, grade 12, up until you graduate. But obviously, you've got to maintain a certain average. Yeah, so that's scholarships available. So anyone that's interested, feel free to apply. Yeah, there's no separate application. Everything's done online. Personal statement, application form, report cards, an interview with me, and you can 2 options. You can either do our entrance exam in math and English virtually with me, or you submit IELTS, one of these, IELTS, TOEFL, Duolingo, SSAT, or IELTS, TOEFL, Duolingo. One of those 4 they can choose, one of those 4. IELTS, TOEFL, Duolingo, or SSAT.
No, I don't.
No. So again, you don't have to do any of those. You can just do our in-house test.
Or with math.
In math and English. Or you do one of those English proficiency tests. And that's pretty much it. We have one intake, which is September. We don't have, so the school year starts from September, ends in June, and we don't have an application deadline. We accept applications so on a rolling basis. However, we always like parents to apply as soon as possible because of their visa application. Yeah.
So we'll just assist them to go through all these visa applications. Interesting. Right. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Being on our study on Spotlight. So we will see you in next episode.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.